Greetings, everyone. This is Pamela, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off the September-October class of the Powerful Podcast Academy, and today I'm here with one of my dearest new friends that I just made on the 5-day challenge recently, the one and only Mr. Kwesi Jamal from the GTA, Toronto, Canada. Represent
Toronto.
East
I'm
Side,
excited
East
to be
Side,
here.
East Side. Welcome,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Excited to be on this journey with you, brother.
Same here, same here. All right, let's get going. Okay. Still see my screen?
I do, yes.
All right, cool. Let's get going straight to the top. So this is the premise of the program. Launch your profitable podcast, get leads on demand, and your first paying clients in little 60 days. Even if you have no audience to start with, that's spamming and no ads to spend. How does that sound to you?
Amazing.
All right, let's get going. So agenda, it's going to be just me and you. That's even better. So meet and greet, there's no need. We already know each other. Usually meet and greet is people introducing themselves. And then house cleaning, I'm going to go through that. Then I'm going to first start with overview of the 4-week program, an overview of the week one, and then I'll be doing the live coaching for for day one, and then at the end, any Q&As. So let's rock and roll. So the house cleaning first, again, my commitment to you is 100% success rate. I want to make sure that you launch your profitable podcast and the program, and I want to see you start getting paid clients through your podcast on a regular basis. If you follow what I'm telling you what to do, you will have a platform, a system to get leads on demand anytime you want. I'll show you exactly how to do that, what to say, where to go, and all that. And then we're gonna work on your offer to make sure your offer is irresistible, so that when you invite people, you open up the floor for meaningful conversation and meaningful and deep connections. So that's gonna lead to doing business. That's what this promise is. That's entire program is about. Not only getting your profit podcast launched, but also being able to get paying clients on a regular basis, organically, without spamming and no ad spend. And even if you have no audience to start with. So again, I'm going to be working with you until you succeed. I'm here for you. There's a Facebook chat group. I will add you to it in a moment after this call, as well as all the inside the Facebook group for the academy. Everybody is very helpful. The students from the previous class, as well as this one, as I said, there will be maybe a couple more joining us tomorrow and next week. So yeah, and we will have, as I mentioned to you before that, one live coaching call on Mondays at the same time. And then from week 2, 3, and 4, we'll have 2 calls, one call prior to this call. It's going to be our bonus Q&A to go over any question or material from the previous week before you jump into the next week. Other than that, the rest of the week, Tuesday to Friday, you get one daily video lesson on the Facebook group before you wake up. So by the time you wake up, you'll have the content in your on Facebook. You will be tagged. I will send it to you directly as well. So you have 24 hours to go through it. And honestly, it takes about an hour of solid, focused attention to it, because you're learning an actual high income skill that can literally give you a business and change your life, change your business. And anything worthwhile requires time, so I'm not sugarcoating it. You will need 1 hour of solid focus a day for the next 4 weeks. But if you put in the time, you will be handsomely rewarded with an actual system that's going to literally give you a business that works. Not only the business, but the platform. So, and I'll be here with you. Any question, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, you have my contact. If anything is, if you have any question there, you post it. People inside the Facebook group, as well as the people inside the Messenger, will reply to you and help you, as well as myself. If there's anything that really bugging you, just shoot me a message. Hey, Payment, can we just jump on a quick Zoom call? And I'd be happy to do so. And I'm able to do so because I work with a select few numbers of students per class, specifically for that, so to make sure that you succeed. And as I mentioned to you, I am a collector. I collect success stories and testimonials. And of course, at the end of this program, I'd love to have an honest video testimonial from you about the program. So that goes without saying. Again, what will you achieve upon completing the 4-week program within the Profit Podcast Academy? As I mentioned, the quantifiable, measurable end result of this 4-week program is you will have your profitable podcast launched. As long as you follow the steps and do the daily task I will assign you every day to do, you will achieve that. And these tasks will take you between the daily video lesson and the actual action steps. You're looking at 30 to 45 minutes. And on Fridays, because the content is much more, it brings everything together. It's a bit longer. So you're looking at 1 hour on Friday. So that's why you have the entire weekend to digest the content of Fridays. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. The outcome is pretty straightforward, pretty clear. And yeah, you'll get your daily video lessons at 8 a.m. UK time, which is 7 a.m. Wait, 8 a.m. So anyways, just to keep it simple, before you wake up in the morning, you'll get the daily video lessons and your I will tag you directly on the Facebook group as well as on WhatsApp. And I mentioned about the calls, One Life Coaching calls at 8 a.m. Eastern. And from week 2, 3, and 4, we'll have 2 hours, one before that to go over the Q&A, and one after, which is the actual teaching of that week. So again, you will launch. This is what you will get. You will launch a profitable podcast. You will be able to get leads on demand and getting your first paying client through your podcast in as little as 60 days from today. So today is what? Today is September 16. So by November 16, as long as you follow what I'm telling you, you should be able to get your first paying client. And this is what we're going to be working together, not just your podcast, but also identifying your zone of genius so we can craft your message and your offer, build your business around your zone of genius. So all you have to do is just share your story, speak from the heart, so you can build that connection, that trust with exactly the audiences I've been mentioning over and over and over again inside the 5-day challenge that you successfully completed. All right, so here's the structure of the program. 4 weeks, straightforward. Week 1, this is this week, all about foundation. This is like anything, the foundation is the most important week. And this is what we're going to be doing here as well. Week 2 is going to be about the tech and equipment. Week 3 about the launch. Once we've taken care of the foundation, built a solid foundation, and then taking care of the tech. Week 3 is all about how do we ensure that we have a successful launch and getting the right people inside your podcast. And then week 4, that's a bonus week. I've been added last class, and I'm adding it as well this month. And that's going to be, it's one thing for you to have a profitable podcast to get leads on demand, but what people really want is actual paid client, money in the bank. And I will be sharing with you exactly my personal proven blueprint on how to get your first paying client, how to get, and I'm going to share that with you on week 4 as well, how to get visibility and leverage the tremendous power of Facebook groups, even if you have no audience to start with. Even if you have nobody following you on Facebook, you'll be able to leverage Facebook group once you have clarity to get leads on demand anytime you want, as well as how to build your profitable program from scratch in as little as 7 days. I'm going to show you exactly how all the big boys, Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson's, Dean Graziosi, whenever they're launching a new program, they don't spend a penny or a second building it. What they do, they go to their audiences and ask them, what is it you're struggling with? What do you need help with? And they just wait, get the feedback, and then simply build a program around that. This is the oldest thing in the world. Just like when you go to a restaurant, they bring you the menu, say, what do you want, sir? How do you want it? You go to a dealership, what kind of car, what kind of options, material, make, and all that. And they just give it to you. Same thing here. And this is how I also built my program. It's still the same structure. Since I launched my program back in end of November of 2021, the exact same structure. I'll be sharing it with you as well. Then once you have that, how do you get your first paying client in as little as 7 to 30 days, even if you have no audience? I'm going to be showing to you how to leverage a soft launch, beta launch, or a case study launch, whatever you want to call it, to get your first paying client ASAP. And then once you do that, I'm going to also share with you how you can run your own 5-day challenges. 5-day challenges have been a game changer for me. My business went from being a hobby and struggling to get clients to actually turn into a money-making machine and getting paid clients with a high-ticket offer. Because again, 5-day challenges are the best way to get clients, high-ticket clients. Why? Because again, business, especially high-ticket selling, is about one thing and one thing only: trust. And over 5 days, you have a much much bigger opportunity to really build that trust and rapport while displaying your expertise, showing them what you're capable of doing, and also building trust and sharing your story of a 5-day, just like you attended the 5-day challenge. And at the end, you saw for example, if I had done a, say, 90-minute or 60-minute webinar, you probably would have joined my program because it's not enough. You didn't know me before, but because you spent 5 days to really get to know me, see what I can do, and really explain to you how this is amazing, that's when you saw the value and you said yes. So exactly, this is exactly what I will be sharing with you, how you can implement that and run your own 5-day challenge as soon as you finish this program, so you can get your own high ticket clients ASAP. And then the last piece of week bonus money week is probably my favorite, and that is how to leverage the tremendous power of testimonials. Testimonials are what have completely allowed me to start charging high ticket from the get-go and give yourself a raise anytime you want. And by raise, I don't mean like in a corporate world, $1 every year and you have to beg for it. The rule of thumb is for every 10 to 15 glowing video testimonials you get from your client, you've earned the right to give yourself a $500 to $1,000 raise. How does that sound, brother?
That sounds amazing, bro.
So that's, I'm going to share again the detail of week 4 at the start of week 4, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse because week 4 is going to be a game changer. Week 4 can be an entire standalone program, $5,000-$10,000 program by itself, because week 4 is all about making money in a proven way, leveraging podcasting. So here's an overview week by week. Week 1, foundation and mapping up your podcast. Day 1, which is today, clarity, the why, the who, and the what. That's going to be probably the most important day of the week, along with day 5. Day 2, tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the various ways to name your podcast the right way to label it. And as you will see tomorrow, there's multiple ways and varieties to label your, to brand your podcast, your business, and so on and so forth. Day 3, and as you will see, every day of the week, for the entire of the program, they build, it's like a layer after layer. For example, day 2 is built on day 1, day 3 is built on day 2, and so on and so forth. Nothing is random, everything is strategic. So day 2, first of all, as you saw, day 1 is about clarity. Why you want your podcast, what's your objective, what do you want to achieve, what do you want to help, and with what. Day 2 is going to be how to properly brand your offer, your podcast, your business. Day 3 is going to be what is the right format for you. Should it be just you speaking? Should it be you interviewing people? Should it be you with a co-host, or should it be you and other people in a roundtable format, and so on and so forth? Day 4 is going to be about the frequency. Okay, how often should you release a podcast? Should it be once a day, twice a week, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, and so on and so forth? And you'll see podcasts at every level being very successful, as well as the length of your podcast. This was, for day 3. There are podcasts that are very successful, less than 5 minutes, and the podcasts that are very successful, 4 hours, like the Joe Rogan Experience, and anything in between. And again, the length of your podcast is going to be a very key strategic decision that we're going to explore on day 3. And day 4 is going to be the frequency, how often, what platform, and type of content. So should it be audio, video, or both? And day 5, we're going to put it all together, as well as how to get, I'll share with you the exact script. Even though I always say don't speak from the script, this is one of the only exceptions. How you can go from having less than 1% conversion to 100% conversion rate. People saying absolutely, just say when. As well as the one principle that alone can get you in front of the people, the true movers and shakers in your business, in your industry, in your niche. And that is leveraging the tremendous power of the Dream 100 list. That's a game changer. So this is for week 1. Week 2 is going to be about the tech, all about tech. So first day on Monday next week is going to be what kind of equipment, what kind of microphone, accessories, and so on and so forth. Day 2, we're going to get creative. I'm going to show you how to create your artwork for your podcast, for your business, for your Facebook, your thumbnails, your cover, your banners, and so on and so forth. And I will have a Canva expert come and do a talk for us on that. Day 3, we're going to actually be getting our hands dirty, so to speak. We're going to be recording our first episode. It's going to be a test episode, but the principle is the same. We're going to use your computer and Zoom to record your first episode. Day 4, we're going to be taking the test episode and started dissecting it, starting editing it, and started making reels and stuff like that with it. It's as if you were sitting beside me. I will show you exactly, share my screen, what I'm doing step by step and all that. And then once we've done the editing, we're going to upload it onto our dashboard, which again, I'm going to explain to you in detail at that moment. And day 5, we're going to put all of it together. And I'm going to be talking to you about the hosting and submitting your podcast to the various platforms such as Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and so on and so forth. So that's week 2. Week 2 is all about tech. Now, week 3, once we've built the solid foundation, taking care of the tech, week 3 is all about launch week. How do we ensure that we have a successful launch and that we get eyeballs from the get-go and we properly and effectively market our podcast from the get-go? Even though the premise of this program is for you to launch a successful podcast, launching a podcast is only step 0 in your journey in the world of podcasting. Week 3 is going to be about what do we need to do beyond the launch. That's very important. So, for example, day 1, I'm going to be sharing with you a very simple yet effective launch strategy. Plus, I'm going to going back again, reviewing the recording your first episode, because that's going to be very important. Day 2, I'm going to be sharing with you a very aggressive launch strategy if you want to go all in. Day 3, probably my preferred, my favorite day of the week is going to be leveraging the tremendous game-changing power of press releases and getting into the media. Not a lot of people are doing that, but it doesn't have to be expensive or difficult to get into the media. All it takes is just 1 yes, and then you snowball that, you leverage that to get a second, third, and so on and so forth. Before you know it, in a matter of a few weeks, a few months, you're all over the news. That's going to be very powerful, and I will bring another key world-class expert to do a talk on that. Day 4 is going to be social media mastery. Again, I'm going to be bringing in a social media expert to really show how to leverage social media to get your brand, your podcast, your offer out there. Day 5 is going to be, again, putting it all together, and we're going to be looking at marketing a podcast beyond the launch. So it's one thing for you to have a profitable podcast launch, but what do we need to do to promote it effectively and successfully beyond the launch and keep on getting the right people into your podcast? So that's week 3. Now that we've done all of that, week 4 is a bonus week, and that's going to be the money week. And that is how to get your first paying client in as little as 30 days from the moment your podcast is launched. So day 1 is going to be a very powerful, every day of day 5 can be turned into an entire 1-month program, and each day can be an entire week. And so day 1 is going to be leveraging Facebook groups to get visibility and build your audience from scratch. I'm going to be having an expert talk. You probably know him, Tyson Sharp, the founder of the Serving Circle. He was the one that came and do a talk on that, an amazing talk, and I'm going to bring him back again. Day 2 is going to be about building your winning program effortlessly in as little as 7 days. So I'm going to be sharing with you the exact same approach and strategies that all the big boys have been using to build their very successful 6, 7, 8-figure launches using this same approach. I've used the exact same approach for my first program way back in November of 2021. And to this day, it's still the same structure for my program. And I will share that with you. That's very important. Day 3 is going to be, again, as I mentioned earlier, the one thing that's going to turn your business from a hobby to an actual business. And that is running your own profitable 5-day challenge. I will have an expert talk on that. My good friend, Louisa Maroney, she's also from Toronto, and she's an incredible story. What is this? Oh, okay, cars. Okay, anyways, and she's the one that helped me learn anything I needed to know to launch my first 5-day challenge back in January. So that's what really allowed me to go from nothing to there. And that first 5-day challenge was able to make $9,000 in that 1 week. So that is a game changer, and I will show you exactly how to do that. Day 5, as I said, incredibly powerful. That is leveraging testimonials to charge high ticket from the get-go and raising your rates regularly and without any complaints from your clients, because again, you've earned the right. So that's the overview of the 4 week of the program, as well as some of the names of the expert talks I had in the past. I will bring as many of those as I can. Stephen Gillen, absolutely killer. Former mobster in the UK, most wanted mobster in the UK. He changed his life. Now he's all over the news. He's actually filming a series on Netflix, flying nonstop from New York to Europe. He's got an incredibly powerful and successful PR agency in the UK. Gonna try to bring him back in. He did a talk for us in the August class, and I had a couple of other PR experts. Mayor Good and my publisher, gonna bring her as well. Misha Zvingasov, you saw him in action, the podcast growth expert. And I will bring also some copywriter expert. The one I brought in the past, Nikhil Rugani from Australia, but also the one that I really want to bring in, and I brought her a couple of times. I mentioned to you, she was the content marketing director for no other than Alex Hormozy, Hannah Newman. I'm gonna connect with her and bring her again, as well as Tyson Sharp, master community
Exciting.
builder. Wendy Corner, one of the graduates of the academy and a dear friend of mine. She's an expert when it comes to taking experts, coaches, professionals, and authors from the page to the stage, meaning taking you to your first talk. And as well as Shane Francis, she's very successful, very smart, and very good at what she does. She's a social media and Canva queen. She's going to be here. And yeah, and so many more. I'm always talking to other experts, and I would love for you, brother, for the next class, for the November, December one, maybe bring you as an expert to share your zone of genius for the next class or the challenge. So again,
Let's do it.
what I've been building. I want to build a highly successful and highly vetted community of successful, vetted professionals. So when you're looking, for example, say for a copywriter, media, PR, anything you're looking for, you don't need to waste time looking for other people. We have all the experts pre-vetted inside one community. So yeah, this is the content of the program. Any questions so far about the content of the program so far?
I have no questions about the content. It's very easy to understand. My question is around the video recordings. They're going to be on Facebook. You're going to tag us so we could go back and watch it at any
Absolutely.
time. That's my question. Okay.
Absolutely. You're gonna be tagged, as well as, because you're my brother, I will also send them directly to you on WhatsApp every day. And at the end, I
Thank
will
you.
compile. I'll compile them under one Google document, so you can find them all under one roof.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
You're
Also,
welcome.
as far as the content with the daily videos, so that's 5 videos a week, 4 week, 5 video, yes, 5 videos a week. So that's around 20 hours of learning time, correct? 20 hours of content, more or less, 18 to 20
Yes,
hours of
yes,
content,
about
right?
an hour a day. An hour a day. Yes, because again, you're learning a high income skill, a real skill that's gonna literally give you a business and show you how to make money in a legit, proven, sustainable, reliable way. And of course, anything worthwhile takes time. So okay,
I'm
that's
okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. It's just you're getting to understand how my brain thinks, right? What's the
okay.
system? What's the time commitment? How many
Yeah,
days? And
yeah, yeah.
I'll follow exactly as you said. We should follow it. What I really like about this too is not only are you doing the one-on-ones, the Q&As, and the bonus stuff with the bonus hour,
Yeah,
is that you have also experts from your community, trusted friends for your
absolutely.
community. That's a part of it. That's of high value. You already of high value, but to have more than one person come in, that's of high value. And um, something else that stood out to me. Re- You're role modeling in real time how to do it. It's not just a video and go do it yourself. It's like, oh no, we're doing it together.
Oh,
Build
absolutely.
it, launch it. I'm like, woo, let's go.
It's as if
I
we were
like that.
sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be teaching you, and then as if you were sitting here, I show you. And the way I always say is, don't just watch passively. Watch, pause, do, resume.
I learn best that way. This
Exactly.
makes my heart very happy.
Absolutely. The lights here. Okay, now let's move on into the actual overview of week one and more in depth. Do you see my screen
Yeah.
now?
Yes.
Okay, so week one, again, I will share with you the replay as well as the slides in about an hour or so after the call. So day one is all the clarity, the why, the who, and the what. I'm gonna be sharing that, doing that tonight, today, in a few moments. Then tomorrow is going to be about naming your podcast the right way, not just your podcast, but your business, your offer, and everything that goes with it. Day three is going to be the format, the co-host, no co-host, and length of your podcast. Day four, the frequency, platform, and type of content. And day five, putting it together and getting high quality guests on your show. So let's dive deeper into that. So first of all, the foundation of a podcast. So as you can see, the what, the how, the why, the when, the who, and the when, like anything worthwhile. So first and foremost, it's all about what do you want to achieve? What do you want? Why do you want to start a podcast? What is the message you're trying to convey through your podcast? Who are you trying to serve and help at the highest level? Your ideal listeners, prospects, and clients. What's your avatar? Choosing the right name and type of name for your podcast, deciding on the length and format of your podcast, and should you have a co-host to know, and how often should you release your show? On which platform should your podcast be? Should it be audio, video, or both? And then getting high quality guests on your show, mapping out your first 10, 20, 1,000, 1 million shows, because once you have the process, it's the same process for up to ad infinitum of your guest. And then the last but definitely not least is building your own dream 100 list. I will share with you a video on Friday. It's going to blow your mind. That's how all the big boys are getting directly access to the key leaders in each industry. So that's going to put your podcast and your brand on the map, just that alone. So day one, the why and the who. Again, what is your why? What is your goal, objective in launching your profitable podcast? Then we're going to work into identifying your exact ideal client, meaning diving deep into your zone of genius. That's going to be the most important part, the zone of genius, because that's what everything's going to be built around. Once we have your zone of genius, then who is the very specific person you can help and serve at the highest level? Because that's what we want to do. We want to focus on, remember what I've been saying nonstop inside the challenge? Clarity is the name of
Yes.
the game. Clarity is
Yes.
number one pain point for what person? This is what we're going to be diving in tonight about. Day two, naming your podcast the right way, such as the ideal name. As you will see, there are different ways, various ways of naming your podcast, and we'll work together to see which one makes the most sense for your business, for your podcast. It's going to be a fun one, very creative day tomorrow. Day three is going to be the format, the co-host and no co-host, length of your podcast. Going to be review the various types of format possible for a podcast, whether you should have a co-host or no for your show. We'll cover the various options for the different lengths of the podcast. As you will see, there's various very successful podcasts at all levels in terms of length, from less than 4 minutes to over 4 hours and anything in between. And once again, we're going to brainstorm together as to what is the ideal length for your podcast, for your business that makes sense the most for you. Day four, the frequency, platforms, and type of content. So how often do you want to release your episode? How hard do you want to go? How aggressive do you want to get into it? Are you all in, or do you want to just be testing? But honestly, if you just want to test in, you would not get the most. You want to get the most for going all in, because that's where you're going to get the biggest traction, the fastest. Again, what platforms do you want to have your shows on? I mentioned all that, audio, video, both. And again, we'll work together to find what makes the most sense for you, your business, your podcast, and your based on your goals, objectives, your zone of genius, and so on and so forth. So everything builds upon each other. Day five, putting it all together, as well as this is the longest day of the week, and every week this is the longest week, because again, it has it brings everything together, as well as exciting new content. And that is, after identifying your exact ideal listener, client, basically your zone of genius and your avatar, we're going to brainstorm as to where that person is hanging out the most, and simply reaching out to them with the exact proven blueprint script that I've been using to get the hell yes, just say when. Each time I reach out to these people, so you can get leads on demand anytime you want. Then we'll share with you, again, as I mentioned, the exact same approach and script I've been using to get high quality guests for my podcast. And guess what? And as you know, those guests are going to be your prospect. We're going to be interviewing our prospect. We're not bringing randoms. We need laser focus clarity on what is it your zone of genius, what is the person you can help, who's your avatar, and simply identifying where is that person hanging out and simply putting yourself in front of that person and inviting him. As simple as that. But that approach is absolutely like shooting fish in a barrel. And once you've done that, you're going to be building your dream 100 list. That alone can be worth a ticket of admittance because that's going to show you how to get in front of the key people. One of the previous students of the April class, she was launching at the time an Indiegogo campaign on a children's book. And after talking to her, she told me the person that inspired her, one of the inspiration for the book was Elon Musk. And guess what? I told her, hey, send a copy, signed copy of a book to Elon Musk. You have nothing to lose. What if he picks it up? What if someone from his entourage, so to speak, his staff picks it up? One tweet from Elon, your business is the moon. That's all you need. It doesn't have to be today. Maybe in 6 months down the road, himself or someone's going to pick it up. So check this book or check this. That's a game changer. So that's what you're going to do on day 5 this week. So here's your first assignment, your first task for this week. You will not need it for this week, but you will absolutely need it for week 2. And that is having a microphone. Do you have a microphone already?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have it handy?
No.
Or is it back home in Toronto?
It's in Toronto.
Okay,
it's
no
in
worries.
Toronto.
Do you know roughly what microphone is it?
Type of microphone, bro. It's like a compressor, I think. Mike.
All right. No worries. Okay. Once you have it, send me a picture. And as the only thing
I'll get a picture sent to me. I got a picture sent to me, and I could always send it to you on WhatsApp.
The only thing you need to know is make sure your microphone is a USB microphone that you can just plug into your computer. Unless you're a tech savvy guy and you have those amplifiers and you know how to work those around, it's much better. All you have to do is just plug it into your computer and off you go.
So I have both. I don't have both. I don't have the USB. I bought the USB and I took it back. I have the one where you actually attach it to the amplifier and to your computer.
If you're tech savvy, that's cool. So
I'm not tech savvy. I just thought it would be the best option.
Okay.
That's what.
Okay. The one that I used that got me started is this bad boy. I got it in March of 2020. And back then, I know my story. I was completely broke. I didn't have a credit card. I had to ask my sister to buy it for me. She bought it for me from Amazon, the Samsung QTU handheld dynamic USB microphone and recording pack. So it came with a stand like this. And also it came with this, the pop screen filter.
Oh, right. Okay.
The pop screen filter, if you don't have it, some sound like it's going to make it like this. And this is what's going to stop that. So this is important. So the 2 accessories you need, one is a stand, so you can easily sit on your desk. And one is this, the pop screen filter. It looks better without, but hey, it's not about the look, it's about being good. Anyways, so this is what got me out of the hole and got me from 0 to almost 230 episodes until last year, March of last year. And then I had to buy this one at the electronics store in Kuala Lumpur. And when I go to Canada, I'm going to get a new one. But anyway, so that's the only thing you need for next week, because next week we're going to start recording. So, yeah. And the good news is you can pick up a very good starting podcast microphone from Amazon or your local electronics store for about 100 US.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's the overview of week 1. Any question about the overview of week 1 before we dive into the actual content of today?
No, we're recording next week, so have the mic. Send a picture.
Okay.
Got it.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right. Let me go into the actual content. Let's 1 second. Please. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's go. This is it. Yep. Okay. Do you see my screen?
I do.
Okay. Perfect. So this is the content for today. Day 1. It's all about the clarity, the why, the who, what is your goal objective in launching a podcast, identifying your zone of genius, and true gifts. And then we're going to take that to identify your ideal client. And then once you have that, who's that person and that you can help at the high and serve at the highest level. All right, let's get going. First, the why. Let's do some brainstorming here. And because it's me and you, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be quite deep. These are the questions that I want you to answer, not just here, but really have some soul searching by yourself today. And these are, why do you want to launch your profitable podcast? What is your objective for launching your podcast? What is the message that you want to convey through your podcast? Here are some common reasons for launching a podcast. First of all, as a lead generation for your business, as well, and I would add as a lead education as well machine for your business. Second, sharing your story, your message, or documenting your journey. Third is an obvious one, content marketing. You can repurpose that across all different channels and length and reels and so on and so forth. Of course, you can also use your podcast for promoting any upcoming launch, whether it's a book, a course, a program, an event, a talk, whatever you're doing. You can use your podcast because you have basically your own news channel, your own radio station. You can promote it for whatever you want. And of course, if you already have an established business, you can use that for brand awareness. And if you're just starting, you can still use that to build brand awareness. And of course, one of the biggest perks of having a podcast, a profitable podcast, is for you to elevate yourself to being seen and recognized as not just a leader, expert, and authority in your niche, but as being seen and known and recognized as their expert, their leader, their authority, because the people that will listen to you, they will view you as their expert, their authority, their leader. And that's why the podcast will build you up to that. And of course, last but definitely not least, because it's fun. Nobody would be doing it if it wasn't fun. So for you, Kwesi, of all of these, which one would you say is the number one reason that you're launching your podcast, your profitable podcast?
So these are all reasons why I want to launch a podcast. If I had to choose one, it would be right now. It's a toss up between sharing my story and message with the audience and being recognized as a leader. But right now, it's being recognized as a leader, an expert in my field.
These are beautiful ones. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Awesome. So here's your first assignment today. Do some more soul searching, and I would love for you to share your result on the Facebook group. I've created a thread where I'm going to be posting the replays as well as for you and the other students from tomorrow to post your homework, your assignments each day, not only for all of us to be inspired by, but also to get feedback from not just me, but from them and from other students. So please post that. As I said, that's your action step number one. Share inside the group what is your goal, objective, purpose for launching your podcast, your number one reason. And again, the name of the game is, as you will see me say, and you've already seen me say that over and over and over again, clarity is the name of the game. The more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be. All right. Any questions so far on that?
Nope.
Okay, let's get going. Now, here is the most important part of not just this week, but the entire program. This is what's going to make or break your business and your podcast, and that is your zone of genius. Because we're building a business where you can share your gifts, your zone of genius, and all that. So to identify your zone of genius, as I mentioned inside the challenge, and now we're going to take it deeper, there's 4 ways to do so. The first one is looking at your professional background. If you've spent any amount of time in any industry or niche, that's the first place to start because you understand the industry, you speak the language, you know what is the pain point, and so on and so forth. Second one is if you've been blessed with any natural, God-given innate talent. Some people are amazing with sports, musical instruments, singing, reading, calculating, acting, whatever is your gift, whatever is your natural talent, that would be an amazing place to start. The third way is if you have, actually there's 4, I put 3 here. The third one is if you have already any high income skill. Let's say you're amazing with the words, you're a great copywriter. or let's say you're amazing with graphic design, or you're amazing with coding, whatever it may be. Are you amazing at selling, at closing? That's probably the most highest income skill you can have, closing and selling. So if you've been blessed with those, that's an amazing place to start to build your zone of genius and build a business, a wildly profitable, impactful, and purposeful business, and a powerful podcast around it. The last one, and that's the most common, and that is if you've had any hardship, whatever struggle, whatever crap you overcame in your life, whether it's a financial struggle, abuse, disease, trauma, tragedy, betrayal, heartbreak, whatever it may be. Sure, it was very painful when you went through that, but then guess what? That became your story. Then your story became your gifts, and then your gift become your duty, responsibility to share it. The more painful what you have to overcome, the more transformational it's going to be. And as you will know, as I will keep saying in a moment and throughout the program, and I say that so many times as well during the challenge, your business, never make your business transactional. It's not about your time. There's always a ceiling how much you can charge. It's not about your knowledge, the information you have. Information can be obtained for free nowadays, but instead make it transformational. The more transformation it is, the more people will be glad to pay you, as opposed to nickeling and diming and telling, oh, this is too much. Oh, this is too much. I can get it for cheaper. No, when it's transformational, the money issue is out of the window. And again, just like the big sentence at the bottom, your crap is your gold. That's the most important thing. So again, I just mentioned that people don't want transformation. People don't want information. People want transformation, and they want time, speed. So if there's a way for them, for example, to get fit, but it's going to take 1 year, but here comes Kwesi, and you tell them, hey, I can get you there in 30 days. Lose one dress size or one pant size. That's transformational. People will pay for that. I will definitely pay for that. So again, this is very important. Never sell your time. Never sell your knowledge. Instead, offer transformation. That is very important. And again,
Question.
yes.
Question. The previous slide, you said there were actually four. There's only three here. What's the fourth?
So the one that is missing is if you already have any high income skill, such as if you're amazing at copywriting, graphic designing, what is it? Coding, selling, closing, anything that people have paid you a lot of money to do, or any skill that you've learned and earned on your journey. Let's say you were working for a big corporation and you were a negotiator. That's an amazing high income skill.
Okay.
So and the fourth one is whatever struggle or hardship you've overcome. So for you, which one of those would you say, which one of those would you say would apply to you?
The second.
So natural God-given talent?
Natural, innate, God-given. Well, I don't call it it's a skill more than a talent. My ability to communicate, my ability to get to attract, connect, and impact through communication.
Okay, perfect. So here's my okay. All right. So here's my second action step for you. Write down in detail on the Facebook group. What is your zone of genius? What is the one that the more detail, even write a paragraph, 3-4 sentences around it. Really expand on it. Again, the more clarity you have on that, the more magnetic your message will be, and the more it's going to help you identify your true zone of genius so we can build an irresistible business and offer around it.
Yeah.
That's your second action step, and I will summarize all of that at the end of the call. But the most important thing is this: the bigger the transformation, the more they will pay you. Sorry. Let's say, for example, you're someone that helps couples avoid divorce, and let's say you charge $100,000. That's a lot of money. But to someone who's about to go to divorce and lose all the things they've worked all their lives, could be worth millions of dollars, and here you come and you will allow them to avoid that, then $100,000 is a no-brainer. See what I mean? It's all about transformation.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Got it.
Now,
Got it.
here's a powerful exercise. I mentioned it briefly in the challenge, but now I want to really take it to the next level. Is mapping out your life to really identify your zone of genius, especially if you want to build your zone of genius based on any challenges that you've overcome yourself. This is a very powerful one. Take a piece of paper, write down all of the, especially the difficult, the painful, the challenging chapters of your life. You don't have to write anything lengthy, just make a few columns, maybe one or two keywords for each painful challenge. And at the bottom, ask yourself these two questions. What was this trying to teach me? And what is the lesson for me to learn through that? Because life is a school, we both understand it. Nothing happens to you but for you, even the most painful thing that you go through it. And then once you've completed, you've filled this piece of paper, you created columns to map to your life up to now, from the moment you can remember. Then look at that piece of paper and stare at it and see which one speaks the loudest to you in the most visceral way. Which one you have the strongest reaction to, the strongest feelings. And the one that is the strongest, that resonates the deepest with you. And that's one of the best ways to identify your zone of genius and true gifts. Because again, whatever crap you overcame, a lot of people are going through it right now, and they're desperately looking for someone that can help them, that they can be a big brother, big sister, extend their hand. Hey, take my hand. I've been in your shoes. I got out of it, and so will you. I will be here for you as a coach, as a mentor, as a guide, as a big brother, big sister, as an accountability partner, as well as being the person that's going to give you a proverbial kick in the butt when you need it, when you're funk. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. So again, as you know, and as I've mentioned before, and we're going to repeat that because that's extremely important. What are people looking for when they're looking for a coach? They're not looking for a disconnected billionaire. Sure, it would be nice to work with a billionaire, but they're completely disconnected. They live in a different reality with different sets of problems they're facing. Instead, what people are looking for is someone who successfully overcame what they are currently going through. Someone that is 1, 2, 3, or at most 4 steps ahead of them, and someone that is relatable, that they can resonate with, that they can identify with, and most importantly, someone that is accessible and reachable. And hence why I've been mentioning a lot inside the challenge. I'm going to mention that again throughout this program. Your avatar is no one but yourself when you were starting at the in your journey. Look at when you were at your lowest. Build your program, build your business, build your offer, build your podcast exactly the way you wished existed when you were starting. For example, my academy, I started exactly the way I wished it was when I was at my lowest, because just like you, I've spent a lot of money on programs, coaching, and all that, only to be student number 355. When as soon as you signed up, you get an email saying, okay, welcome, here's your content. You have 65 videos each 3 hours. Nobody has time for that. And when you get on a call, you have 65 people. Good luck getting a word in. You have a question. Oh, send a ticket. We'll get back to you before Christmas. 3554. Even good luck trying to get, forget about one-on-one, but even a message directly to the person behind the course. So I wanted the exact opposite of that. That's why I limit my program to 3 to 5, at most 7 students per class, specifically for that specific purpose, because I want to work with you on a one-on-one basis. I am accessible, I am reachable, I'm relatable, and I'm here to help you. I want you, my goal is to make sure you succeed, because when you succeed, I succeed. So again, these are very important. And again, how do you do that? Simple. By sharing your story, speaking from the heart. And when you speak from the heart, by sharing your story, you will do 2 things. You will not only build trust and rapport, which is absolutely non-negotiable and fundamental to you doing business with them, but also in the process of sharing your story, you will display your expertise because you've overcome successfully what they're going through right now. And this is very important. And as I've mentioned multiple times, countless times inside the challenge, I will do it again here in this program. Business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately it's a relationship nurturing process. And most importantly, high ticket selling is about one thing and one thing only: trust. If there's no trust, if, for example, me and you didn't trust me, we didn't be talking, let alone doing business here. So it's all about trust. And again, how do you build that trust? By building rapport. How do you build rapport? By speaking from the heart. How do you speak from that? By simply sharing your story. That's why it's so important to identify your zone of genius, because when you identify your zone of genius, what is your true gift, then you don't need to do research on environment, economy. You're simply sharing your story, speaking from that. You don't need any preparation for that. So this is why this is very important. Today's lesson is very important because that's what's going to set the tone for the rest of the week. And week one is all about building a solid foundation for the rest of the program and beyond. So here's your action step number 2. Inside the Facebook group, write down what is your zone of genius in your gift. For this one, be a bit more detailed. For the previous one, you can just write maybe 1 or 2 sentences. But for this one, I want you, because I know you're committed and I want you to succeed, write as much as you can. 3 to 5, 6. Don't limit yourself. Because the more specific you are, the more clarity you have, the more you will know where to go, where to look for, and the more your message is going to be magnetic. Does it make sense?
It sure does, yes.
Cool, awesome. This is the first action step. Now, 1 second, let me move here. The next one, the who. Once we've identified what is your zone of genius, then the next step is, what is the person that you can assist, help, and serve at the highest level? And that is identifying your ideal listener, clients, and your avatar, your prospect. So again, as I mentioned, who is the one specific person that you can serve the most at the highest level? Again, going back to identifying your zone of genius. So if you want to go down the professional background, look at your professional background. Don't discard it, because even though for you want to go towards your high income skill, maybe there are skills that you learned in your professional background. I'm sure you did. For example, some examples: if you're an if you were an accountant, or you are any of the above, financial, whatever, then you understand that industry, you understand the language, and you speak their language. You know what is the pain point, the struggle, the frustration better than anyone, because you've lived it and you're living it. And that applies to any industry. And because you understand deeply that market, that industry, and know intimately the major challenges, pains, frustrations of these people and pain points of that niche, you'll be able to help that person serve at the highest level. Let's say you were, say, for example, an accountant for 15 years, then you would be best. The person you can help the best are going to be current accountants, especially men accountants and whatever age bracket you are. So you can really identify with you, resonate with you. Maybe they're making decent to good money, but the heart is not into it. They want the second tired of just punching numbers on a spreadsheet, and so on and so forth. So again, that's very important. As always, be as specific as possible. One specific person with one main issue. Again, I listened to another podcast yesterday from another very successful company that said the secret to the success is the rule of the 5 wants. One offer, one avatar, one traffic source, 1 year, one platform.
1 year.
For 1 year, you focus on one thing and one thing only. Don't try to get creative and bring in multiple offers, because it will confuse you people. I can't tell you how many times I talk to not even prospect people. I just get on meet and greet call before getting on a podcast. I tell them, what's your business? They show me the business, the website, and they say, oh, they have 6, 7 offers starting from $9.95. I mean, $9.95, I mean $9 to all the way to $2,000. I said, stop wasting time on all of these. Focus on, make your business, your website about just your flagship offer, your high ticket. Let's say it's $3,000. Make it about that. And the smaller offers, make it as bonuses or even chapters within the program. Because if I were to go on your website and I see you have 5 different offers, I would be confused. Hey, which one is best for me? And when you're confused, you just ask and never come back. But if you have one laser focused offer, like, hey, whatever it is, you want to help male entrepreneurs communicate effectively in a way that they can really connect heart to heart. I just made that up based on what you told me. So identify your zone of genius. I shared with you tonight. I'm sharing more as well. And simply brainstorm, apply that so you can identify what is your zone of genius. Once you've done that, it will become very logical as to who's the avatar, who's the person you can help. Because everything builds upon the previous, a layer after layer. It's very strategic. Once you know that, be specific. For example, some examples. Let's say you're an accountant. Don't be just an accountant because that's going to be extremely hard, extremely competitive and all that. Instead, what kind of accountant were you? Were you real estate
What,
accountant?
sorry?
What kind of accountant were you? For example, I'm using this as an example for accountants, and you can apply the same thing to
Right.
any industry. Instead of being the
Okay.
general term like realtor or accountant or doctor, be specific. Let's say we're a realtor for golf course property, for beach property, for investment properties, or for commercial, for whatever. Or an accountant. Hey, you can be an accountant for the insurance company, for the medical industry. One of the accountancies that are the most booming, the most successful right now, are accountants for digital nomads. You know, as remote work and people living around the world, escaping the West that is crumbling and high cost of living, these people need accountant services. I actually spoke to one of my best friends I grew up. His wife is an accountant. Say, hey, listen, why don't you tell her to become an accountant for digital nomads? I'll be the first to hire because we all need that. We need specific people that are specialized, not just generic. So again, as I mentioned at the bottom, when you're specific, you're magnetic. While you're generic, you can't connect with anyone. You water down. Here's some examples. Go ahead.
Hold on a second. Two things.
Yeah.
One, the connection just cut off for a bit, so you were actually I didn't hear you for a few there.
Okay.
And secondly, but you were talking about the examples, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And secondly, can you just go over the five pillars for a successful business again, just quickly? You said
Oh,
one
the 5.
offer.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. One offer,
Yeah.
one avatar. So one client,
Right.
one platform, one traffic source, 1 year. Let's say, for example,
Got it.
you're getting amazing success from Facebook. Don't try to get cute and go on LinkedIn, on YouTube, Instagram, and so on and so forth. Master one, milk it to the max until you've built a high 6-figure business for 1 year and beyond. Then you can expand into, say, LinkedIn. So again, it's all built upon each other. Let's say you found, once we've identified your zone of genius and you identified your avatar, then the next question is, where is that person hanging out the most? Let's say it's on LinkedIn. Then you will focus for 1 year on LinkedIn and LinkedIn only. If it's, for example, on Facebook groups, which has been the case for me, Facebook group have been absolutely incredibly profitable for me, then Facebook group is where you would focus the most. Put all your attention on Facebook. So the point is, don't get distracted, and God forbid, don't try to juggle too many plates, meaning too many business at the same time. Oh, I'm involved in real estate and affiliate marketing and cryptos and so on and so forth. The question is, do you want to win or do you want to dabble? You want to win? Name of the game is focus. One thing. Again, 5 ones. One offer, one avatar, one traffic source, one platform, 1 year. Even memorize this. Write it down. And do not let yourself be distracted by shiny objects, whether they're new so-called opportunities or people. As you start getting traction, making sales, getting known, you can bet your bottom dollars. People will start reaching out to you. Hey, Kwesi, I have this amazing thing I want you to take a look at. Do not Now, when people come to me, even if it's the most incredible opportunity, I tell them, listen, I'm grateful, I'm honored, but this time it doesn't align with where I'm going. My focus is my business right now. That's it, in a polite but clear way.
Got it.
Awesome. So here's some examples of niche down avatars. Again, the more specific it could be, the better. Don't just like make the mistake that most people do. Oh, I help people. I help entrepreneurs. I help men, women. That's too vague, too generic. Instead, be very specific. Here's some real life examples. Male entrepreneur before. That was actually mine when I started. I wanted to help actually conservative male entrepreneurs over 40. But then pretty soon I realized by looking at my guests on my podcast, clients that I was signing up for my academy, that 90% of them were what? Women. So I had to adjust. I have an idea where you want to start, but be very open. Pay attention to the data you're getting from the people that are paying you, your clients, not someone that says, oh, I'm interested, but that sounds good. Only opinion that matters, people that are ready and willing to pay you. That's one of the one-on-one rules of marketing and business. People that pay you, these are the only opinion that really matters. So again, male entrepreneurs over 40, female residential realtor. That's an amazingly clear avatar. Of female holistic nutritionist, female corporate executive, male nurses, married male entrepreneurs, single father entrepreneurs, mother entrepreneurs, teenage counselor, and so on and so forth. Personal trainer for busy dads, busy mom, or busy entrepreneurs, or for digital nomads, or whatever. So the point is, go at least 2, if not 3 layers down. So we start with men or women. What kind? Professional? Okay, what industry? And then even what age group? I had one lady in one of the first classes. She's a very influential woman in the Black community in the Atlanta region. So now, and the church for Black people, especially women. So now she launched a podcast helping Black women of faith in Atlanta, in Georgia. Now that's very specific. See that? But this is what it's all about. Being specific is the name of the game. Clarity is the name of the game. So these are some examples to get your creative juices flowing. But again, all of that will flow from identifying your zone of genius. Clear?
Got it.
All right, cool. So action step number 3. Action step number 1, to recap. What is your why? Why are you launching your profitable podcast? Action step number 2, what is your zone of genius? And action step number 3, who's your ideal client, listener, avatar? Again, everything builds from the previous, as you noticed. First, what is your why? That's why you're launching a podcast. What's your zone of genius? What's your true gift? And then who's the person you can help at the highest level? Simple as that. Again, be as specific as possible. And I know you're destined for success. I'm gonna be hard on you. So don't just write 1 or 2 sentences. Go actually write an actual paragraph. The most specific, not an essay, but a paragraph. 3 to 5. The more you can write, the more it's going to help you, because the more clarity you will have. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So that's it for today, for day 1. Any question, brother?
With the action steps, you want me to write it, and for accountability, you want me to post it in the Facebook group.
Yes. Or if you don't feel like sharing on Facebook, that's fine. Just send it to me on WhatsApp. But I would recommend you post in the Facebook group so you get not only my feedback, but also feedback from other current and past alumni.
Every day there's homework.
Every day they're going to be action step at the end of each class. Yes, each video. Usually the longest is day 1 and day 5, because I actually teach it live. And on day 5, it brings everything together. The rest of the day, like tomorrow, you will see tomorrow is going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be 5-10 minutes and so on and so forth. It's going to be about naming your podcast. And then after that, the frequency, the length, those will be pretty straightforward. But again,
Mm.
they're straightforward because they're gonna flow down in a streamlined from the work of day one. Day one and day five are the most important days of the week. They set the tone. Day one sets the tone, and day five brings it together. If you want me to really summarize it at the highest level,
Yeah.
does it make
Okay.
sense?
It does. I don't have any questions right now, brother. My mind's going on the action steps and how to answer
Awesome,
that. To be honest with you.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll post the replay. I'm gonna go now have dinner, but after dinner, about a couple of hours, I'll post it before I sleep. I post
Mhm.
as well the link to the slides, so you can access to all of that. Go over it. Any question, I'm here. Feel free to post them both inside the Facebook group. I will create for each week a thread where I'm going to be posting the replays for each day as well as the slides, and that thread, that's where you will be invited to post and ask your questions pertaining to that week's content. Can hear you.
Everyone in the Facebook group can see my questions or what I say or what I don't say.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's a private Facebook group. Everybody is very, very helpful, very supportive.
Okay. Cool.
So
Keep that in mind.
absolutely. And if there's things you don't want to post publicly, that's fine. Just send it to me on WhatsApp, or if there's something that just for you, that's fine. I don't need to know it. You just it's for
No,
yourself.
the video recordings, like this recording, any
Yeah.
recordings that we're on, is going to be posted in the Facebook group for everyone to see. That's
Yes.
what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to
Yes.
confirm with you.
Yes. 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 Is that a
Okay.
problem for you?
Nope.
If you don't want, I'm not gonna post it if you don't want to.
Now, if I feel differently, say something happens in the
Sure.
recording and I feel different about that, I'll mention it. Yeah.
If there's anything you want me to remove, just let me know. I'd be happy to do whatever to make it
No,
as
we're good.
seamless as possible for you.
Yeah, no, solid introduction, bro. Appreciate
Awesome,
it.
brother. Then listen, if you have no more questions, let's call it a day. I'm here for you.
Yep.
Any questions? Again,
Yes.
give me a couple of hours. I'm gonna go for dinner, and after before I sleep, I'll post the replay. And let's rock and roll. It's gonna be fun. And actually, it's a blessing in disguise that we're one-on-one. Maybe next week we'll have one or two more students still talking to those. But I see that as a blessing in disguise, so we can really work at the highest level together.
I'm glad that you do because that's exactly how I saw it when we got on the call.
Okay.
To be very honest with you.
Awesome.
So I'm
Awesome.
not going to complain. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your patience with me being a little late there.
No worries,
And
brother.
yeah, looking forward to continue. This is a
Absolutely.
great start.
Awesome. Awesome. Next time, if you feel that you're gonna be late, just let me know beforehand. That's cool. Other
Yeah,
than
I
that,
will.
other than that, listen, I'm very flexible because again, we're working together. I'm very flexible, and I'm here to work with you.
I could do that. Not a problem, bro.
Awesome, brother. Have a fantabulous. What time is it for you? It's morning for you. I'm gonna
You as
start.
well. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you, brother. Take care. Cheers. God bless.
Take care.
Ciao. Bye.